Welcome to Module 4, where it's time to start making some money and turning your channel into a very profitable and impactful business. This is the real turning point where we go from a YouTuber to a YouTube magnate. And honestly, this module could be a course in itself. And so I'm really excited to share this information and all of these different strategies with you right now. Because the reason the majority of people don't make a lot of money is the fact that they're always trading their time for money. Whether that's a set hourly wage or an annual salary, there's always a cap on what they can earn. That's why they get stuck in the 9-to-5 rat race of making money for someone else and never making serious money for themselves. Whereas in this module, we're going to be creating passive income streams, money you earn without directly trading your time for money. And that doesn't mean it's easy as such, because passive income streams obviously require a lot of work up front to set them up. But the difference is, once you've set them up that one time, they can be continually bringing you money even while you're sleeping or chilling on a beach. It really is real. And we're starting off this training by talking about YouTube advertising revenue, as this is the income most people think of when it comes to YouTube. Now, it may not be as high as some of the other revenue streams we're going to talk about within this course, but it's still pretty great that YouTube will literally pay you for getting views on your videos, especially once you have a whole library of videos uploaded that can all be earning you money on autopilot. I know people earning hundreds of thousands of dollars from ad revenue alone on their old YouTube videos, which maybe isn't typical, but it's definitely possible. So, how do you actually turn on advertising revenue on YouTube? Well, a while back, YouTube made a change where you need to get 1,000 subscribers on your channel and 4,000 hours of watch time on public videos to be able to turn ads on. This is basically so they can vet the channels to make sure they're appropriate for ads. Just as a side note here, the 4,000 hours of watch time has to be within the last 12 months, but don't worry, that's on a rolling basis. It doesn't mean that it resets at the end of a calendar year. You just have to get it within the last 12 months. But still, if you're new to YouTube, 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time may sound pretty daunting. But that's why you have Module 3 of this course. It's literally packed with ways to increase subscribers and increase watch time. And so if you use a combination of the strategies we discussed, you will hit the target relatively quickly. Just remember though, the basic maths of getting monetized. You'll get there faster by making more videos, making longer videos, or making better videos that people watch more of. I actually recommend using the vidIQ extension we mentioned before for your browser, because that'll add your current subscriber number and your current watch time hours in the corner of each page on YouTube. So you'll be able to see very easily how much progress you've made towards that goal. Now, if you want to speed things up even further for hitting those criteria, a more advanced trick is to do a 24/7 live stream. So you can record something that's ideally a couple of hours long and just have it on repeat for a few days or even a few weeks. And when something appears live, it appears nearer the top of the search results on YouTube, so it gets more widely promoted. And as mentioned in the last module, people are much more likely to watch something that's live, that's happening now. So to help get that initial 4,000 hours of watch time, a 24/7 live stream can be very effective. Just Google how to do a 24/7 live stream on YouTube and you'll get exact step-by-step instructions. For a channel of mine, I did something even simpler to get the 4,000 hours of watch time. I uploaded a loop of 3 hours of something I called concentration music, like soothing sounds to work to. And then I just told everyone I know to go and stream it on repeat. So obviously that racked up watch time very quickly. My point is, there's loads of ways you can rack up those 4,000 hours of watch time fairly quickly. So don't really stress about this. After all, there's going to be loads of other revenue streams we'll be getting into that you can use right from day one on your channel that don't need any kind of subs or watch time amounts to be able to use them. So I'm just telling you this so that you can get there faster and start making money from ads, but ads aren't going to be our main focus at all. However, once you do hit the 4,000 hours of watch time and the 1,000 subscribers, you can then apply to join the YouTube Partner Program via the Monetization tab in the menu of your YouTube Studio. And as a bonus tip here, create a Google AdSense account before that because it can take up to a week to get that approved, and you need to do that before you can join the YouTube Partner Program. So joining AdSense before this just saves a bit of extra time, which means that you'll be able to turn the ads on slightly sooner. Also, by the way, the reason for this is that you earn money through Google AdSense, their system. So although it's money from YouTube, it's actually Google that are paying you because obviously Google owns YouTube. However, once you do apply for the YouTube Partner Program, some people then wonder, should you even turn ads on for your videos right away? So once you've got the criteria, you have 4,000 hours of watch time, you've got your 1,000 subscribers, you've joined AdSense, you've applied for the Partner Program, you've got accepted, should you turn ads on for your videos right away? And the answer is yes, you should. Or at least you may as well. Because the thing is, people are so used to ads on YouTube now, nobody's going to mind. The vast majority of ads can be skipped within 5 seconds anyway, which is a small price to pay for all this free content you're providing to people. Remember, people won't see ads on every video anyway. YouTube normally tries to space them out so users don't get them every single video. Plus, even if people are slightly bothered by the ads, they blame YouTube, they don't blame you. So yes, no point waiting in my opinion. Turn them on as soon as you can and start earning some extra money from your videos. The only other thing people wonder is which ads should you turn on? Because there's actually different kinds of ads you can have on your videos. For example, there's the pre-roll ads, the ones that show right before your video actually starts, that are normally skippable once you've watched the first 5 seconds. But there's also something called display ads that show in the sidebar alongside your video where all the suggested videos are. And there are others as well. However, my recommendation is you turn on all ads for every video. Within your YouTube Studio, you can do this in bulk for all your existing videos, by the way. No need to individually turn them on. And you can also set this as your default setting for new uploads as well, so that automatically all ads will display on all the videos that they're eligible for. The only time I could possibly think you might not do this is if there's a video where an ad in the middle of it would really ruin the video. But at the end of the day, if TV shows can have 4 minutes of ads in the middle, I'm sure your video can manage a 5-second ad in the middle, or even if it's 15 seconds, people can deal with that. Remember, YouTube also try and put any mid-roll ads at the most logical point, so it shouldn't be interrupting you mid-sentence or anything, so I don't think people are really going to mind. As long as you're giving them good content, they'll be willing to click through a couple of ads. So, bottom line, turn on the ads right away and turn them all on. Like we mentioned earlier in the course, if the video is under 8 minutes, you actually can't have mid-roll ads, which is why longer videos are often a lot more profitable. However, I'm about to give you another tip nobody really talks about. I've never heard anyone mention this, and yet it can double your YouTube advertising revenue. And that is that in your YouTube Studio, click on any of your videos, go to the monetization button in the sidebar, and there'll be an extra box that says, after video, post-roll ads. So tick that. Most people don't even know about this setting, yet I've found it can drastically increase your ad revenue because it places another ad at the end of your video. And so over the course of your YouTube channel, this one tiny tip will probably more than pay for this whole course because it can just earn you a lot of extra advertising revenue, and it's so simple to do, you may as well do it. Now though, let's talk about the dreaded demonetization, getting your ads disabled and turned off. Well, YouTube actually have a list of official rules you can check out to see what content is likely to get demonetized. But a lot of it you can kind of determine with common sense. Anything overly sexual, political, or offensive that advertisers wouldn't want to be associated with is likely to not be eligible for ads. But since your content is going to have a more educational approach to it, you shouldn't really have any issue here. If you do swear a lot, that's another thing that can be an issue though. However, YouTube have officially said you should still be able to monetize your video fully as long as you don't swear in the first 30 seconds or in the title of the thumbnail. So obviously there's a couple of exceptions here, like if it's really excessive abusive swearing. But generally, as long as you avoid swearing right at the start of your videos and you don't put the swearing in the title of the thumbnail, you should be fine to swear in your videos. So if that's your natural style, then just try and avoid those first few seconds, first 30 seconds. The rest of it, you should be fine. If you do forget in those first 8 seconds, you can always just bleep it to ensure you do get your full advertising revenue. If you get a video unfairly demonetized though, I just want to point out you can actually appeal that decision and get someone to double check it, because sometimes you'll get demonetized automatically by the system. I had this with one of my videos, but then as soon as I disputed it and had a real person go and look at it, the advertising revenue was turned back on for it. The only other way you can really lose out on advertising revenue is if you get a copyright claim, but we've already covered quite extensively how to either fight a copyright claim or ideally avoid them altogether. So just refer back to module 2 if you need any help with that. Again, I use copyrighted material all the time under fair use, and I'm still getting full advertising revenue for all those videos. Another question that sometimes people ask that's sort of related to this is, should you join an MCN, a multi-channel network? Because as your channel grows, you might get some invites, you're going to get some emails coming through to you to join one of these multi-channel networks where they take a percentage of your ad revenue in exchange for things like cross-promotion or getting you sponsorship opportunities. And look, there's nothing wrong with being open to these invites you get and these offers people put forward to you. But I just wanted to stress that most of the time, these are not a good deal for creators. I've had a lot of people I've spoken to with this, and they've all said it just wasn't a good experience. They don't really do anything you couldn't just do yourself quite easily. And so most of the time, it's not worth sacrificing a percent of your ad revenue for what they're offering. Obviously, look into it on an individual basis, but I just wanted to clarify this because it's easy when you get one of those emails to think, oh, that sounds amazing. But do a lot of digging before rushing into anything like that, because often you're not really getting that much. You'd be better off just keeping the ad revenue. Now though, let's talk about how much you can earn from these YouTube ads. Once you've got them enabled on your channel, you've got them running on all your videos, how much money are you actually going to be making? And when we're talking about YouTube earnings, the metric used is something called CPM, which is basically the amount of money you make per 1,000 views. But your CPM will be different for every video, and it's probably going to vary quite wildly. The reason for that is that the amount of money you earn per view or per 1,000 views is solely based upon how much advertisers are willing to pay to be on your video. YouTube don't set the prices themselves, the market does. And if you ever sign up to buy any Google ads, you can see the other side of how this process works, where you have to enter the maximum amount you want to bid to be in front of certain types of content or certain types of channels. But let's get more specific here. What factors determine how much money you earn from ads? Here are the main 2. Number 1, the niche and keywords of the video. For example, a prank channel may have a terrible CPM of perhaps $1 per 1,000 views, whereas a finance channel could get maybe $12 per 1,000 views. So the same amount of views are earning 12 times as much because there's more benefit to advertisers of being in front of certain topics and certain niches. The second big factor in determining how much ad revenue you're going to make is the audience who view the video. So who is viewing your video also indicates how much the viewers are going to be worth and how much each view is going to bring you. For example, viewers from the USA normally will earn you the most, and viewers from third world countries like India will typically earn you the least. And this is because advertisers are very racist. Kidding. No, really it's because advertisers want to be in front of people who have a higher income and are more likely to spend more on their products and services. So if you can build an audience primarily from first world countries, your ad revenue will almost certainly be significantly higher because advertisers are going to pay more to be in front of that audience. So the real truth is it's impossible to gauge exactly how much you're going to earn because it depends on lots of different factors. And some of your videos will end up having a really high CPM and others won't at all. That said, if you really want, you can try and reverse engineer this a little bit by thinking about what content advertisers more likely to want to be in front of and be willing to pay more for. So topics like credit, finance, real estate, investing, e-commerce, business, and so on are going to earn more because they have greater advertising potential. And it's likely easier for advertisers to sell high-end products on these types of videos. For example, I've seen videos about insurance have amazing CPMs because insurance companies are willing to pay much higher prices to get their ads on videos about insurance. It's the perfect place for them to advertise, right? Whereas obviously on a prank channel, I'm sorry to be picking on prank channels here, but they're obviously not going to want to pay as much to be in front of those kind of videos. So you can sort of influence your ad revenue by focusing on these things and making videos on topics with higher advertising potential. But I wouldn't worry about that too much. And instead, just view your advertising revenue as your tip jar for your channel. Just some extra money on top of all the other revenue streams you're going to set up during this course, which are much, much more profitable.